All right. One quick parable. You have this surgeon at an hospital. He is an experienced surgeon. He committed himself to his medicine studies. He completed them, and he became a brain surgeon. And he also learned how to perform surgery on other body parts. He has performed over 100 successful surgeries in his life. So one day, on intensive care, there's an emergency. He is called. Someone needs a surgery swiftly. So he thought, okay, give me the file of the patient. And then he arrives at the patient and he thinks, hold on a minute. Guys, is this a joke? And are telling him, sir, this is no joke. Individual needs surgery. And he tells them, this individual is dead. There is no human being here, it's just a corpse. And then the others are confused. And he shows them, look at this. There's no pulse, there's nothing, the heart is not beating. There's no electronic response. This individual is dead. Why are you bringing a corpse to the intensive care? You only bring people that are wounded over here and we need surgery. You don't bring here dead people. If someone passed away, you bring them to the morgue. Then they need an autopsy needs to be performed, and our autopsy is performed, the body is frozen till it's buried or cremated, whatever happens, but you don't bring a corpse to the intensive care. That's why it's called intensive care, because people need intensive care over here. Now, this story is just a short parable, but just think about it. A corpse you bring to the morgue. There you will have someone performing an autopsy. An autopsy is different from a surgery. In a surgery, you open the human body while the human being is alive, and you're removing toxic things from the body. So a surgery is an extreme measurement to rescue the human being. So you perform a surgery when someone is alive and it's required. Because you're not just going to open a human body when they're alive just for fun, no. You do it when it's necessary. But an autopsy is when you open a body and completely remove the organs just to test everything, because you want to know how the individual died. Okay? So an autopsy and the surgery, in both cases you open the human body, but they're totally different. Because in both cases you open the body, but with a surgery you open the body because you're looking to remove some disease to secure someone's recovery. And with an autopsy, someone's already gone, you only have the corpse, and the corpse is decomposing. So before the corpse decomposes completely, you perform your last investigation before the body decomposes. So, the same way you need to understand the difference between someone who's decomposing and someone who's wounded. Someone that's wounded, you need, as I call it, spiritual surgery. You need to intervene, pray for the individual. You need to minister to the individual. You need to do all of that because they are in need. Okay? But when someone is decomposing, it simply means that someone is falling apart because they persisted in darkness so much that the darkness is killing them. So, someone that's decomposing is someone who is not interested in solution, not even interested in their own well-being. They're just far gone, mentally deranged people that are dangerous. Okay? So, when someone is decomposing, you don't minister onto them. You avoid them. You keep them at a safe distance. When someone is wounded, and while wounded they malfunction, you reach out to them, and at arm's length, for both people's safety, you minister onto them. Okay? The same way, you don't bring a corpse to an intensive care. You as a saint, you're not going to minister onto those that are decomposing. I'm talking about physical decomposing of the body after someone passed away. I'm talking about spiritually and energetically and mentally decomposing. They're falling apart and escalating, and they're collapsing, literally. Why? Because they are held together through scapegoating. They're held together by dumping their pollution on victims. So when they don't have enough victims around them, and when they don't get enough narcissistic supply, they decompose. And when they decompose, they become dangerous to be around. When they decompose, they can even explode and suddenly commit very horrible atrocities. So, is someone wounded and do they need intensive care in the form of ministry or prayer or whatever? Or are they just a narcissist, an evildoer that's decomposing? Now, sometimes it's not clear whether someone is decomposing or whether they're just wounded. Because in both cases, they're dysfunctional. But just let the Heavenly Father show you what's going on. If someone is wounded, you minister onto them. And sometimes you can only minister at a distance. Okay? But if someone is decomposing, get out of there. Be at peace.